kids, today we're going to be doing something different. I'm going to be making some homemade brownies with some raspberry sauce. We're going to be adding, first of all, some margarine. 4 tablespoons of margarine. And then we're going to add in some honey instead of sugar. We're going to be doing 3 tablespoons. Now you can use sugar if you want, but I do prefer the honey. Alright, there we go, that's all the honey we're going to be adding. And you're going to scrape it off. And then we are going to mix it. Now just make sure while you're mixing you get it all together. Once you're done mixing the honey and the margarine together, or butter if you want, you have to add the cocoa powder and flour. Make sure you try to get all the margarine or butter at least nice and smooth. So you should give that the best mixing you can do. I think this is nearly done. Maybe a little bit longer. I think that's quite decent. So now we're going to add 3 tablespoons of cocoa powder. Get it all off the plate. You can add the flour with it, but I'm just going to give this a mix together, just like this. And I did sift this too. Now to make sure while you're mixing you get all of the cocoa powder together. You can see this is going to be a nice rich chocolate brownie. You don't have to add as much of the cocoa powder. You can have it a bit less chocolatey if you like. I can still kind of see a little bit of that margarine, so we're just going to give that a good mixing. Great. There we go. Nice and smooth. 5 tablespoons of self-raising flour, and this is also sifted. So just going to give that a little tap. And again, we're going to mix that in. Just make sure you don't mess on yourself. I have half a cup of milk that I'm just going to add on in. And then we mix it. And again, just make sure you get all of the flour off the bottom of the bowl and the sides. Right here I have some blanched hazelnuts and chopped almonds. We're just going to add them all in. Make sure you get all of them into your bowl. And again, we're going to mix it. Next thing we'll be adding is vanilla paste. We're going to be doing half a teaspoon. That's all you're going to need. Just going to dump that in. You don't have to do vanilla paste. I just think it was going to be a nice add-in. And we're going to mix that. Here I have the Lindt 90% chocolate, and I am just going to add all of that in. We are doing 4 blocks of the Lindt 90%. We're going to mix that into. Okay, so now we're gonna chop up some chocolate. I'm just gonna move this over, and then I'm gonna bring the chopping board. Here I'm gonna be chopping up 2 of the Lindt dark hazelnut chocolate. So we're just gonna go down and across. I'm going to do kind of chunks. Everything right down the middle. There we go. And I'm also going to be chopping up another block of the 90% chocolate. So again, this will go on top. I don't want them too small, so that's what we're going to be chopping. Just going to put all that in. And then we're going to be adding in half of a teaspoon of salt. And we're going to mix all that. Alright, now that you got that all mixed in, we're going to now put it in a baking tin in the oven. And the oven is already preheated to 180 degrees, top and bottom. So I already prepared the tin. I put baking paper in. And now we're just going to scoop all of this into our tin. Do be careful not to mess too much when you're doing this part. I'm just going to quickly smooth this out, and then we are going to finally put our 90% chocolate on, and I'm just going to plate these around. You can just dump it on top, whatever you feel like. You can also do any other type of chocolate if you want. You don't just have to do 90. I just prefer my brownies nice and rich. Just going to put the rest of those sprinkles on. You can add probably more chocolate if you want, but that's all I'm doing for this one. And now we're just going to put it in the oven for 15 minutes to cook. Alright, next thing we're going to be doing is the raspberry sauce. So we're just going to put all these in. And do remember to keep some aside for your brownie later. We're just going to cook these at a low temperature. Alright, so now I'm done with the raspberry sauce. I added no sweetener in, but you can add honey, sugar, whatever you like. I just did with no sweetener. Now we're also just going to sieve this. Just going to scoop some of this in it. I'm sieving mine because I don't want it in the lumps or the seeds. So we're just going to do that small portion. And we're just going to go like that. And this will go on top of our brownie. Alright, so now I've taken it out of the oven and I'm just going to cut them. So that's one. And then I'm just going to cut again. There's my second. Third, fourth, so this actually can give you quite a few servings. Looks around about 6. We're gonna take this middle one and there we go, our finished brownie. Alright, now we're just gonna sprinkle some of this nice white chocolate just on top. And you can pick any chocolate you would like on this. Just gonna grab a tablespoon of this raspberry sauce and we just are going to drizzle this on. And here is the final result, so we're just gonna scoop right into that, and don't forget to grab a nice raspberry. Enjoy! Well, that's all for this video. Hope you all enjoyed watching. Hope you're all going to make it for yourselves. Bye-bye, my puppets!